Welcome to the City of San Jose Civics Masterclass, Module 4 Policy Research and Writing. This course will explore the essential tools and techniques for effective research, how to access public records in the City of San Jose, conduct open source research, and draft your own policy idea. We will cover the following learning objectives. Number 1, the California Public Records Act. Number 2, the City Clerk's Records Management. Number 3, the City Website Records and Resources. Number 4, Policy Research Best Practices. And number 5, drafting your own policy idea. Why would you want to learn about policy research and writing? To answer this question, we will look back to Module 1 and Government 101, specifically to the Constitution of the State of California. The people have the right to instruct their representatives, petition government for redress of grievances, and assemble freely to consult for the common good. We can think of policy research and writing as the process of assembling freely to consult for the common good, to instruct our representatives of how to best implement the will of the people. Here is an imaginary example of how everyday folks can participate in policy research and writing. The city of San Jose wishes to be a greener, climate smart city. Through the Climate Smart Commission, city staff, commissioners, and residents held a year long study session to develop best practices. One policy idea was to create more green spaces for carbon capture while increasing green canopy, a city goal. This policy idea came from a study session on the California Assembly Bill 57, California's Pocket Forest Initiative. This bill would authorize the department to offer grants to cities, counties, and districts, among many other, to establish pocket forests on public lands. While policy research and writing doesn't always lead to fully realized ideas, it is about building a practice of assessment, thinking critically and creatively on how to best solve the problems facing our community. Often, an idea can start as one thing and transform into another or many others. It can join forces with another idea, or it can be deemed not necessary and not feasible in the end. Regardless of the outcome, understanding policy research and writing can also help us better understand, for example, ballot measures when we vote, the details of new programs entering your neighborhood, etc. Building off our previous course, the Brown Act and Sunshine policies, let's take a look at the California Government Code sections 54950 to help set the tone and importance of this course. This preamble, i.e., the introduction to the Brown Act, states in enacting this chapter, the legislature finds and declares that public commissions, boards, and councils, and other public agencies in the state exist to aid in the conduct of the people's business. It is the intent of the law that their actions be taken openly and that their deliberations be conducted openly. The people of the state do not yield their sovereignty to the agencies which serve them. The people, in delegating authority, do not give their public servants the right to decide what is good for the people to know and what is not good for them to know. The people insist on remaining informed so that they may retain control over the instruments they have created. Policy research and writing is the ultimate fine print in the long and public process of lawmaking and governance. To be able to read, comprehend, research, and or write your own policy proposals, briefs, and ideas, whether as a commissioner or as a resident, is one of the highest forms of civic participation and direct democracy. Section 1, California Public Records Act, also known as the PRA. The California Public Records Act of 1968 is a legal framework that grants individuals the right to access government records and documents. It is commonly referred to as the PRA. The PRA promotes transparency and accountability in government by allowing citizens to request and obtain public records, ensuring government activities remain open and accessible to the public. The Public Records Act defines public records as any writing containing information relating to the conduct of the public's business, prepared, owned, used, or retained by any state or local agency, regardless of physical form or characteristics. The guiding philosophy of the PRA is government records should be disclosed to the public unless there is specific reason not to do so. The most common reason for not disclosing documents are an individual's right to privacy, investigative records, pending litigation, preliminary notes, etc. Now let's look at what this all means in terms of inspection. Government Code 6253 states that number 1, public records are open to inspection at all times during regular office hours with some exceptions. Public agencies may also post records online and direct the public on where to find such records. Government Code 6253.1 states public agencies must assist members of the public by identifying records and information that are responsive to the request, such as describing information technology, physical location in which the records exist. Meaning the government should be there to assist you in the same way as a librarian may assist you in finding books on a particular topic. Number three, Government Code 6253.4 states that every public agency may adopt regulations or procedures that specify how records requests may be handled, meaning that each public agency does not always operate in the same manner, but all of them should have some sort of procedure on how to meet your requests. When copies of records are requested, public agencies must do the following. Number one, upon receipt of the records request, a public agency must respond within 10 days determining which records are available for review. Under unusual circumstances, the official records custodian may extend this determination by no more than 14 days with written notice. Number two, when responding to a requester of whether their records request includes disclosable records, the public agency must provide an estimated date and time of when the records will be produced. Public agencies may deny disclosure or access under certain circumstances. The following lists a few exceptions. Government Code 6254, number 1, preliminary draft notes or intra-agency memorandum not retained in the ordinary course of business. Number 2, records pertaining to pending litigation. Number 3, personnel, medical, or similar files that may constitute an unwarranted invasion of privacy. Number 4, certain applications are records relating to securities and financial institutions filed with the state. Number 5, geological or geophysical data for plants and utility systems or market or crop reports obtained in confidence. Number 6, investigative records and reports from law enforcement agencies with some exceptions. Number 4, and lastly, number 7, test questions, scoring keys, and other examination data used in licensing examinations. Now, these are just a few examples. There are other various miscellaneous exemptions. To view the full list, you may want to review Government Code Section 6254 in a Google search, and it should pop right up for you. Section 2, the City of San Jose's Clerk Records Management. Section 2, the City of San Jose's Clerk Records Management. So, what is the role of the city clerk? The roles, powers, and duties of the city clerk are defined in our city charter, Article 8, Administrative Organization, Section 804. A city clerk is a municipal officer responsible for managing and maintaining official records such as meeting minutes, ordinances, resolutions for a city government. They are also to facilitate public access to government information, oversee elections, and ensure compliance with local laws and regulations. They are a tremendously important part of local government. You can think of them as a librarians or like a human Google search engine for the city government. When in doubt, ask a city clerk. Per the city charter in Article 8, Section 804, the city clerk has the following powers and duties. Number 1, attend all regular and special meetings of the City Council and keep an accurate record of City Council proceedings. Number 2, keep a record of all ordinances and City Council resolutions. Number 3, ensure all records of City Council and the City Clerk's office are readily accessible to the public or destroyed in accordance with the law. Number 4, custodian of the City Seal. Number 5, administer oaths and affirmations, take affidavits and depositions of city affairs, certify copies of official records. Number 6, have charge over all city elections. Number 7, responsible for publication of all official advertising of the city. And number 8, perform other duties consistent with the charter and the will of the city council. Section 3, City Clerk website and official public records. The following is a list of resources that you can find and explore on the City Clerk's website at www.sanjoseca.gov. That's www.sanjoseca.gov. Additionally, you may visit the City of San Jose's YouTube channel and view the city clerk's videos and resources. You can visit this link or simply go to www.youtube.com and search for the City of San Jose. Once there, you can search for the city clerk's playlist or other public meetings in the City of San Jose and resources such as finding and reading your city council agendas, how to apply for a board or commission, etc. Section 4, Policy Research Best Practices. Section 4, Policy Research Best Practices. What is open source research? Open source research is based on publicly available information. The following are different types of information you can find through open source research. Government sponsored research is research and analytical reports from federal, state, and local government agencies. Academic research is research completed by accredited universities, and they can be found, for example, on Google Scholar. Best practices are third parties such as industry associations, think tanks, and other parties often conducting independent research on government programs and practices to observe or recommend best practices. Peer benchmarking is a form of research where operating parameters of a particular government agency or program are compared to other government agencies. The following are some resources to federal sponsored research. The Government Accountability Office, GAO, provides Congress, the heads of executive agencies, and the public with timely, fact based, nonpartisan information that can be used to improve government and save taxpayer money. The Congressional Budget Office, the CBO, provides nonpartisan independent analysis of budgetary and economic issues to support the congressional budgeting process. The FBI Uniform Crime Reporting, UCR, the UCR program collects crime related data from federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies. The U.S. Census Bureau serves as the nation's leading provider of quality data about its people and the economy. The following are some state sponsored research resources. The California State Controller, Chief Fiscal Officer for the state of California, responsible for accountability and disbursement of the state's financial resources, conducts audits of government agencies that spend state funds. The Little Hoover Commission is an independent state oversight agency that investigates state government operations and policy and, through reports and legislative proposals, makes recommendations to the governor and the legislature to promote economy, efficiency, and improved service. The California State Auditor, oversight agency mandated by state law with the mission to provide objective evaluations and effective solutions that enhance the transparency, accountability, and performance of the California government, is the only state agency entitled by law to have access to all public records in the state, including from local government. The Legislative Analyst Office, the LAO, provides nonpartisan fiscal and policy advice to the governor and state legislature. Academic research. Google Scholar is a free, accessible web search engine that indexes the full text or metadata of scholarly literature across an array of publishing formats and disciplines. Google Scholar provides a simple way to broadly search for scholarly literature. From one place, you can search across many disciplines and sources. This includes articles, theses, books, abstracts, and court opinion from academic publishers, professional societies, online repositories, universities, and other websites. However, not all research on Google Scholar is free to access. Many require subscriptions. If you find a limited article that requires a subscription, you can try using that article title in a general Google search to see if there are alternative websites that may have this article for free. Free articles often have separate PDF links next to the article title. Additionally, you can also try contacting the authors of the paper directly via email. Sometimes they will provide the paper for you for free if you ask and if you let them know what you're using it for. For almost every facet of government or public administration, there is an industry association that works to bring the practitioners together and identify best practices. The following is a small sample list that you can access by searching for the names of these organizations in a general web search engine. The following list is a sample list of think tanks and third party researchers. The Pew Research Center is a nonpartisan think tank that informs the public about the issues, attitudes, and trends shaping the world. The Bay Area Equity Atlas provides comprehensive data support systems that monitors equity indicators across the Bay Area. The Center for American Progress is a public policy research and advocacy organization which presents a liberal viewpoint on economic and social issues. SPUR, a nonprofit public policy organization that uses research, education, and advocacy to create an equitable, sustainable, and prosperous region. The Silicon Valley Pain Index, led by the San Jose State University Human Rights Institute, is an annual report on the state of inequality and the quality of life for San Jose and Silicon Valley residents. The Othering and Belonging Institute at UC Berkeley advances groundbreaking approaches to transforming structural marginalization and inequality. The American Planning Association is a professional organization representing the field of urban planning in the United States. The American Public Works Association is a nonprofit professional association of public work agencies, private companies, and individuals dedicated to promoting professional excellence and public awareness through education, advocacy, and the exchange of knowledge. The Government Finance Officers Association is a professional association of approximately 19,000 state, provincial, and local government finance officers in the United States and Canada. What is peer benchmarking research? Peer benchmarking research is an analytical comparison of specific data and business practices, benchmarks, of a particular agency to other peer agencies. Peer benchmarking can help to identify common trends in performance or business processes and identify opportunities for process improvement. Examples of already aggregated data sets include, but are not limited to, the U.S. Census economic demographic data, the FBI UCR crime related data, the Bay Area Equity Atlas economic demographic equity related data. Manual data aggregation is pulling budget, financial, and other performance measures from the city budget document, annual financial reports or other annual reports, or calling other agencies to inquire about data or business practices through the Public Records Act. Now that we've gone over all of the available resources at your disposal, we are now at Section 5, Drafting Your Own Policy. Now that we've gone over all of the available resources at your disposal, we are now at Section 5, Drafting Your Own Policy. What is a policy? The San Jose City Council is charged with the responsibility of establishing municipal policies to guide the various functions of the city. Regulatory policies established by the City Council are adopted by ordinance and included in the municipal code. However, other policies are established which, by their nature, do not require adoption by ordinance, for example, administrative council policies or resolutions. What is in a policy? Generally, policies are submitted to council or the appropriate department, board, or commission as recommendations in the form of a memorandum. The City Council will then conduct their review process and decide which form to proceed with, such as an ordinance policy, a resolution, etc. While there are no standard formats at the moment, a typical policy should include number one, a brief background description of the problem. Sometimes this is titled context or background, etc. Number two, the recommendation, the purpose of the policy. For example, this policy recommends the City Council adopt slow and strategic deconstruction in lieu of explosive demolition. Number three, the policy statements, i.e., the analysis and why. This is where one would insert their research, their reasons, and goals for the policy. Number four, other criteria or procedural sections as required. Not all policies have procedures defined. However, sometimes it can be helpful to think through, for example, which city department could be or would be responsible for implementation. Here's an example of a memo submitted by a former youth commissioner. Your memo or letter, etc., doesn't need to have a logo header. However, make sure it is clearly addressed to the appropriate person, has a subject line, the date, and your name, as seen here in yellow. The very first section of the memo, seen here in green, clearly states the recommendation up front. This example also includes a preamble, an introduction statement, before leading into the recommendations. The background section, seen here in blue, clearly states the problem and reason for this proposal. The analysis section, seen here in yellow, affirms a proposal by going in depth with research, case studies, and examples. In particular, it lists other cities that have adopted this process, which strengthens the proposal by illustrating that it is possible and has been done before. The example proposal then closes with a very brief conclusion that helps to summarize the purpose of the proposal, seen here in green. Lastly, in blue, all links to supporting research are provided in the footnotes with shortened links. This makes it easy for council, staff, etc. to access said statements made within the proposals. Now let's look at some of the best practices for writing a policy recommendation. We are going to be referencing Writing Tips for Public Agency Writer, developed by the California Institute for Local Government. The following are challenges to keep in mind. Number one, often, the task is to present complex information on important issues facing the community. Helpful tips include, but are not limited to, a at the glance text boxes. If the document covers a complex topic, give readers an at a glance paragraph or a list of key points in a sidebar at the beginning of the chapter or publication that tells readers what they're going to read. Keep it simple in language. Number two, on controversial items, there may be genuine disagreements about what course of action best serves the community and even underlying facts that bear on decisions. Here, proper headings and subheadings can help a reader better digest information. Divide text into sections using headings and subheadings, using declarative headings and subheadings to tell the story. Even if the reader only scans the document, valuable information is conveyed. Number three, the document needs to meet the many needs of many people in the audience. Typically, decision makers are the primary audience. However, the public and the media will also often be turning to the document as a source of information and guidance on how the issue affects the community. Therefore, it is important to get to the point. Think in terms of the first sentence of a paragraph being a topic sentence that lays the foundation for the information that follows. Congratulations, you've completed Module 4, Policy Research and Writing. Up next, Module 5, Storytelling.